I'm John Kovach. I've been a newsman, a sports announcer, and a football coach, but the one constant, since I was old enough to stand next to a stream with my dad, has been fishing. I've waded rapids, stood on slick rocks, hacked through ice, and been tossed about the deck of a boat. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do, and join me on this journey. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop here on the HAN Network. John Kovach with you for another Thursday of talking fishing. Few places I'd rather be, and it's kind of strange for me to look back and think that on the 28th, just 2 days ago, that marked the third anniversary. This is actually the start of our fourth year of doing Yankee Fisherman. We've evolved from streaming audio to streaming video. We've got a lot more video. We're shooting a lot more in the field, and we're just trying to make an interesting show for you, and we hope you're enjoying it as much as I am, because it's a very unique thing and something that I never dreamt could happen, nor did I ever acknowledge we could be starting the fourth year. And I call it a year because we don't really do it in seasons. We're basically making new shows 12 months a year, and we've been doing that since February 28th of 2014. So thank you all for your support, and hope we're around for a lot more years. If you look outside, if you felt the wind, if you've seen the grass start to peek through, spring's around the corner. And Nutmeg Trout Unlimited is doing something very interesting coming up on March 11th. You see a lot of casting clinics, and it's all about distance. There's a lot of places to fish around where we are in southwestern Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, all around, and really anywhere you go, where it doesn't matter how far you can cast. It's how accurate you can be. It's how quietly you can land that fly on the water. Nutmeg TU is going to do a small stream fishing clinic, and that's going to be at Lake Mohegan in Fairfield on Saturday, March 11th at 10 a.m. Charles Petruccelli, who is going to lead that clinic, recently talked about hackleless flies at the last Nutmeg TU meeting, and these are small flies. He tied some that would give early season success. Talked a lot about the materials he used, explained sizes and what you're seeing when a trout goes after and takes a fly. Very, very interesting presentation that we were able to record, and I thank Charles Petruccelli. I thank the guys from Nutmeg TU for that. So in our first segment, Chaz is going to talk through what we do, what he uses, how he ties the different sizes. We're going to take a quick break and then come back after that and watch him tie one, and then we'll tie another fly with him next week. So let's start with Charles Petruccelli, and he's going to explain hackleless flies, early season fishing, and what materials he uses to make these flies.
It's a nymph, or changing to an adult sitting in the meniscus, and it looks like they're rising because you'll see the trout even poke their nose out on this, and they're not. They're not. I mean, you'll see duns, and you won't see the duns because they're sucked under, but you see the trout will be pecking at the surface, and well, there was no fly there. What were they doing? Well, they were taking a merger, but you really couldn't see. Yeah. And so these patterns are also the flies that come out. The first flies you're going to see are like some caddis flies, the early smoke wing, and a couple others, and they tend to run supposedly 14s. They tend to be 16s or 18s wherever I'm fishing. So I don't know, 20s. And then the other one is the mayfly you see early. Actually, they start coming off in March around here. There's the Baetidae family, and it would be the two species would be the blue-wing olives. The two species would be either Brachiocentris or the intercalaris. Now, Brachiocentris supposedly can be 14, size 14 again. Now they're 16s.
So
and
you're
18s.
talking caddis, mayfly, or
Caddis and mayflies, and the intercalaris is like 18s and 20s. So you're really talking, say, some 14s, but more likely 16 and 18. 18 is sort of the sweet spot. You may have, if you're fishing an 18 and it's a size 20, you can probably get away with it. If you're fishing an 18 and it's a size 16, they'll take it. If you're size short, it's not a problem. It's being too big is more of a problem. The colors, they're sort of gray-brown caddis, and they're, olive mayflies, olivey brown, and you can read and they say, well, they're this color, that color. They really don't. But if you read the books closely, I'll tell you, they don't know what the color of the bluing olive you're going to find in the Housatonic when you're there, or in the mill, because they're always different. They could be more brown, more olive, more light olive, and so what I do is I blend.
Do you know if they change color at all? Do they try
Well,
to
they do
match?
change color. Like especially the caddis. You'll catch an adult caddis and it'll be like real dark, but dark tan. And I put on a dark tan caddis and they'll ignore it. Then I put on a real light tan, and they start smacking it, because when they first emerge, they're light, and then in a short order of time, they darken. So by the time you catch one flying around, it's already darkened. Where if you caught one, like just as it's coming up out of the meniscus, it would be light when you first saw it. And they change rather rapidly. So, that's something to consider too. It's so, but usually if you got the right size and sort of somewhere in the color, bright shade, you're done. The trout aren't. They're not going, well, look, that's not quite bright shade of tan.
Yeah, they're feeding like a profile, right?
They got a profile, and it's a certain size, it's got a certain shape to it, and it's within a certain shape, because even if all the caddis hatching at the same time aren't the same color, aren't the same tan. They're not some light, some dark, so they don't have to worry about color. These are all hackleless flies. And here's
So that's CDC on top, right?
Yep. I don't notice that I'm getting refusals because I don't have hackle on, and they're looking at pinpoints of light in there. If you've got those, they tend to suck them down. And usually it's a different kind of rice too. If you've got something that's the right size and the right shade, you'll know, because they'll take it real confidently. It's not splashy. It's not. They'll just take it, turn it. If they're splashing at it, that's really sort of that's a refusal if they don't hit. If you don't feel them, but if they're splashing at it, it's sort of like they're not sure what it is. But if they come up, suck it down, and just go on their way, and then you've locked it on something close enough. Now they could also be on any given time in the mill, especially. You can be fishing. You could take them on a caddis, put on an olive. They'll take it. They're taking everything. They're much more opportunistic feeders there, because it isn't a real. It's not a real fecund body of water. It's not the Housatonic where they have a gazillion bugs per cubic meter. It's much less fertile. So when something comes by, they take it. And once the caddis get going, you can fish a caddis through there almost every day, and you get a few hits. And same thing, when the olives are on, you can fish an olive, and as long as you're not spooking the fish, you pick up a few fish. And if you get up to the Housatonic and the olives are on the caddis,
So, run the size of the hooks by me again, Chuck,
Well,
in terms of the best range to be in.
it's 16 to 20.
Okay, 16 to 20.
Which I will start with the CDC and elk. Now, this is caribou, just so you know. This is deer hair that you would tie with. This is better for the compare none.
Okay.
And although, buying deer hair and elk hair, the correct piece, the good pieces, it took me a few years to work through buying, just different stuff, but you see there's sort of a shine to it still. There's some oil left in it and all. That's a sign of good deer hair or elk hair. If it's all dull, don't buy it. It's all dried out stuff. So this is, and the other thing you look for is, especially on deer hair, on the end, I'll pass this around, but if you look on the end, there's that, it ends with a black tip that's solid, and you want as short as possible on the black tip for deer hair, and and the cat, and elk hair too, but elk hair tends to have a short one anyway. And I use some really exotic dubbing for the olives, to get olive and brown and stuff. Very exotic, very hard to find, very rare. This is wool.
Okay, yeah.
Wool yarn.
Wow.
It's like, or you can get the synthetic stuff, but I like wool because it's, it's naturally water resistant, and it's biodegradable. It's, and all that kind of stuff. And I found this at one of the craft shops for like $5-6, and my great grandchildren will be tying flies with this. It's like, so there's that. And then there's a yarn and needle point. This is for needle point work that I found. Okay. And here, and she had them once. I guess she was clearing out the inventory, and they were on sale. So I took a bunch of colors, and it's like, well, you get the olives and the tans make sense, but like,
so those are wool also, you're thinking?
Yeah. Did you ever tie? This is with the eggs for the sucker spawn. You tie with the pink, right? And I think these were less than $2 a piece. So, each one is a lifetime supply of that color. And CDC, of course, is col de canard, or which is French for from the duck's rump, actually preening gland. You can, a good patch of this is maybe, I don't know, $5 for patch of deer hair or elk, and you got hundreds of flies. This is obviously nothing. CDC, you can buy a quarter, 10 grams or something, the big pack, for like $20, and you got hundreds or thousands of flies. So, and then, as far as hook size go, I say 18, and I'm talking like a mustad standard, because depending on who's making the hook, 16 can be 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters shorter, and when you're talking about flies that run from 6 millimeters to bugs that run from 6 millimeters to like 9 millimeters, that's sixes are like a 20, and 9's like 16. So, I have a scale with millimeters, and I'll check the hooks the size I want it for the thing. But 16s, 18s, and 20s if it's a standard hook. Now, because the thing is, there are hooks that are extra short. So you would, like they're 2 extra short. So as opposed to an 18, you could use a 14. It's 2 extra short. It should be the same. And those are especially like type of merger patterns.
So what brand of hooks do you like best? Or do you?
Well, Gamakatsus and Timecos when I can afford them.
Okay.
Yes, spend your money on expensive hooks, not expensive necks. Because you get down to the small sizes, and if you hook up like a 15-inch brown in the mill on a cheap 18, you might land. It's like it's going to be frustrating. Where a Timeco, he won't straighten it, but it's a less expensive hook. The steel isn't as good; it's a little softer or whatever, and it'll bend. Now, this is my favorite. Really good. This is a Timeco, what they call, it's a retainer bend. It's a barbless hook.
Okay.
And this barbless hook holds fish as well as a barbed hook.
Wow.
And when we come back, we're going to put all that we just learned together on the hook with Charles Petruccelli. We'll be back with more Yankee Fisherman, presented by the store that's been with us really through most of this run as we enter our 4th year, the Dock Shop, right after this. Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands at the President's Day event and Ram Truck Month, now through February 28th.
Get a fresh start to the new year by shaking up your meal routine. Walter Stewart's Market is your local source for a delicious selection of fresh and convenient salad shakers, like Southwest salad with chicken, Cobb with organic chicken, Power Vegan with fruit and quinoa, Greek salad with tabbouleh, and grilled shrimp with hominy. Grab one from our salad case or order from our deli today. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Whether you're looking for the freshest seafood, the perfect steak, or want to share delicious appetizers, look no further than the Stone's Throw in Seymour. Chef Peter Hom has more than 30 years of experience creating original recipes in his American eclectic style. Our dishes are made from scratch with fresh, local ingredients that pair perfectly with a seasonal craft beer, a signature cocktail, or your favorite wine. When you visit our Riverside location, you'll feel like you're on vacation when you're only a stone's throw from home. Visit us on Roosevelt Drive in Seymour or at StonesThrowCT.com.
It's all about meeting goals this year, and Trinity CrossFit of Ridgefield has experienced trainers, top-of-the-line equipment, and a newly renovated space to help get you there. Offering more classes per day than any other CrossFit gyms in the area, we cater to all fitness levels. Our coaches have a combined 10 years of experience in CrossFit, and as competitors themselves, Trinity coaches can get you ready for competition in 2017. Visit our convenient location on Route 7, Danbury Road, or find out more at trinitycrossfit.com.
If you're watching this broadcast, you're not alone. The HAN network is available for 200,000 Connecticut cable customers on the Frontier Network, and we've also reached 1.7 million viewers on our free live streaming sports, news, and entertainment broadcasts. To reach our rapidly growing audience, contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop, this Thursday, March 2nd, 2017. So, Charles Petruccelli has just walked us through the materials he uses in his fly tying. He's about to tie one for us. We'll have another segment next week in which he's going to tie another of the flies that he talked about in that first segment. And all this will tie together on Saturday, March 11th, when Nutmeg TU hosts a seminar that Charles Petruccelli is going to lead up at Lake Mohegan in Fairfield. And this is going to focus on small season fishing with an eye toward, or small stream fishing with an eye toward the early season time, which we're going to be heading right into very shortly. So now that we know kind of what he's doing and why, let's see how Charles Petruccelli ties these hackleless flies.
I will tie a 16 so it's a little bigger, but you can see it. Now, this is gray. If I tie it with orange and the orange bleeds through, I get brown.
Okay.
Right? Blue and red, gray and orange, sort of get brown. A brownish color, because you'll be going like, you know, because it's the color, it's wet. So you start around, you know, you start around a third back, and you go up to an eye length.
What do they call it? Prepping the
This is
shank?
Yeah, attaching the, getting the thread just attached. All right. And then, well, with this one, okay, this is the easiest one. And then you just wrap it all the way back. This doesn't have a barb, but you go back to the end of this, where the shank starts, just before it starts to curve into the straight part.
What size thread do you use?
I'm using 8X. It doesn't build up. Then you.
And this is CDC?
This is CDC. And
Okay.
you want to grab this, so the way you get it on there is you make a wrap like that, and then you pull it till it's like there, and it's slippery, so you want to then wrap all that in, right? To hold it down. Then take one of these very expensive hackle pliers.
Right. But we're not using hackles, you said.
And you twist this,
Okay,
and the fact that it's hanging like that's okay.
okay.
And then you wrap your body.
It's for the body.
This is for the body.
You're wrapping forward.
I'm wrapping forward, yeah. And you may want to do, and you might have to reach with, and then sort of stroke the stuff back. So it comes out. And you go up to the end. And it's okay to have some up here, because that'll be a base for putting the wing on and make it a little easier. And I've learned to do this. That way I don't have to go looking for it. It's even. It's all evened up. And then I measure it, and I want it, actually it's short for a caddisfly, but if you think about it, the emerger, the wings aren't completely extended. And Troth, who the elk-hair caddis with the hackle, the traditional elko, who invented, he said he noticed that if he made it the length, a third longer than the shank, the body, he got less hits than if it was short. And it was probably okay, because actually they take emerger caddis. Once they're adults, they're gone. Once their wings are full, caddis are off the water. So only when they come back to lay eggs do they take adults. So if they're taking emergers, a short wings, slightly short wings, so I usually like to the back of the bend as opposed to extend it past that. So then you measure that, and then this is Willman instructions. Cut it. And then this is the pinch technique.
And you use your wax thread.
My wax thread.
All right.
And you put a couple of loose loops around it, the thread, before you tighten it up. And that one's too long.
You wax your thread so it'll float better in the water?
No, it's so it holds the material.
All right. Kind of makes it sticky or no?
Yeah, this is sticky wax. And like when you're dubbing, it stays on there. So we'll now shorten that.
That's really short, John.
Yeah, well, this
Can you
is a
tie it
product
on,
of my
if you tie it on longer, can you trim it after? I mean, I'm just
Well, you don't want to
asking,
trim.
because I'm not as talented as you are, so, I'm
Well,
hunting for a
you want
shortcut
the.
here.
Yeah, that's still too long. Oh man.
Wow.
But you want you want the tapered ends at the end. For if you just, you can in the fish. It looks sort of kludgy.
So when you say tapered in, is that the
Well,
natural ends of the
natural ends
hair?
of the hair is
Hair?
hollow. If you clip off the ends, now you got the hollow tube and it's going to soak up water. That's why you want to keep the ends on. So
okay.
you don't get water sucked into the straws. Because if you clip the ends off and you got open ended, it's going to what's that through what's it when water just sucks up a tube? What do they call that?
Siphon. Or
No, there's that site. this should do it. There we go. That's the hook. So then you want to keep it on top. Hopefully I can. I'm doing this. And then you do a few underneath and a few more. And even though you say, well, that's not much, that's about all you need.
Remarkable.
And then you whip finish. Don't ask me to do this with a Renzetti. Or what's with a Mazzarelli tool?
Yeah, I haven't mastered that yet either.
I can't use that. I can do it
Half
with
hitches
my,
work well.
I just do it with my fingers. And with the wax on it, I don't glue them either for myself.
One of my favorite patterns, the caddis, I'll be tying up some of those. Hopefully very soon, because hopefully I have some time to get to the desk. I want to thank Charles Petruccelli for demonstrating that. He'll tie a blue-winged olive for us next week. We'll be back in a minute to put the wraps on this episode of Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop. Well, there's still a bite out on the water. Most anglers have decided to stow the gear for the winter. Just because Mother Nature isn't cooperating doesn't mean you can't see the latest models of all your favorite gear. With 2 convenient locations, it couldn't be easier to get your fix of summer. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
Have a sports injury or slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Basketball, hockey, skiing, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark Building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
At the Milford Bank, we offer an extensive selection of lending products and services to meet virtually any need. Submit your application online in our Mortgage Web Center. Start to finish, you can apply for a loan in as little as 10 minutes. Our knowledgeable and helpful staff are available to meet with you at your convenience. To learn more about what we can do for you, stop by one of our Milford Bank offices or visit us at milfordbank.com. The Milford Bank, always there. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
On time, done right, safe and reliable. MrHandymanCT.com.
Let our satisfied customers tell it.
I have called Mr. Handyman for every reason, every occasion, every broken item, every leak. They have bailed me out on many occasions, and I would recommend them to anyone.
For any project, large or small.
MrHandymanCT.com.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to Yankee Fisherman, presented by the Dock Shop this Thursday, March 2nd. Thanks to Charles Petruccelli for letting us film those demos. Thanks for Nutmeg TU as well. Again, that event is coming up on Saturday, March 11th at Lake Mohegan Small Stream Fishing Clinic. Should be a lot of fun. I will be there. I want to thank the Dock Shop and all of you, everybody here at the HAN Network, for their support as we start the 4th year of the show. Run down a couple things real quick. Remember, March 1st, a lot of the waters close until opening day. The special regulation areas, the TMAs, the wild trout management areas too, they'll stay open. They've begun stocking them. The DEEP is posting updates. Watch the Yankee Fisherman on the HAN Network Facebook page for updates on that. The Housatonic Fly Fishermen's Association will have its annual Fly Fishing and Tying Expo Saturday. That's at St. Paul's Episcopal Church at 65 North Main Street in Wallingford. Fresh and saltwater fly tying lessons, materials and hooks provided, casting demonstrations and lessons, how to tie leaders, a lot of vendors. It's a great event. I can't make it this year, but it was a really fun event last year. That's Saturday, opens at 9 at St. Paul's Episcopal. Deerfield Fly Shop is hosting an open house Saturday. That's right around the corner from the Yankee Candle flagship store up in Massachusetts. Michael Dodonna has lined up some great seminars. Eric Halloran on how to effectively wade fish in the Deerfield River at 10:30. Walt Garrick, friend of the show, is going to talk about tight lining and swinging wet flies for trout, when to use floating and sink tip lines, plus mending. That's at 11:30 on Saturday. Jay Aylward will demonstrate techniques for tying articulated streamers, twist up some sculpin and ganga streamers. That's at 1 o'clock. There'll be other fly tyers. That's going to be a fun day there. CVTU, Candlewood Valley, they're going to have Frankie DeGrazio talk about fishing the Croton watershed just north of New York City. That is on March 8th. That is next week. That'll be a good one. Some local ties. That is going to be at the Stony Hill Fire Department, 59 Stony Hill Road in Bethel. Meeting starts at 7:30. Doors open at 7. Pizza, soda, conversation. Going to be a fun event there. Their raffle is coming up March 24th, as is the Farmington Valley TU banquet. Those both on March 24th. And the Mill River Wetland Committee is among the organizations participating in Fairfield County's Giving Day on March 9th. It's a 24-hour online event. You donate. There's matching grants. There's competitions for grants. You'll find all the information you need on that at fcgives.org. We're going to be back next week with another edition of Yankee Fisherman. Charles Petruccelli is going to tie up a blue-winged olive, and hopefully this weekend I'll get to tie up some of those caddis he just demonstrated. Till next week, tight lines.